The status updates that come through on this person's phone regarding you are some of the favorite parts of their day. With this energy of the Ace of Pentacles, they really look forward to that. Times when they know that you will regularly communicate, or things that even come through very randomly, very sporadically. That can be status updates, like they definitely have their notifications turned on as far as when you post things on social media. They are eager to kind of open those things up, look at them, whether they are photos or they are posts or content that you're putting out there. All of this is something that this person is taking in very regularly, very immediately. You're not the kind of thing or person that they want to like put on the back burner or save for later. It's like you're the highlight of their day. Ways in which you personally reach out to them, to share music, or send them a text, or even times where you are making a phone call to them, even if it's like they're busy, the phone call has to go to voicemail. There's something that their heart kind of like skips a beat, like there you are, you're reaching out, you're talking. It's too bad that I'm not in a place right now where I can communicate, but it definitely makes them feel special to know that you care, to know that you're thinking about them. They listen to your voicemails very immediately. They do get back to you as soon as they are able to, and there's a sense of really looking forward to continuing to build an understanding with one another, so that you trust this isn't the type of person that's just gonna like leave you on red or ignore you, because they're playing games, or they got other people that they're juggling. This is something that you are top priority for this person. You are that favorite notification. This is the energy of like, yeah, I can't wait to talk to you. I look forward to our exchanges. I enjoy the time when I do have time to myself, and we can have that back and forth very actively, very regularly. You are somebody that has taken a very special place in their life at this particular point in time, of the people that they communicate with for a variety of reasons, professional reasons, friends, even family members. You are up there in terms of those top contacts. They get messages from you, and it's like, okay, I'm really looking forward to this. This is something enjoyable. This is something that makes me feel like I've made the right decision in terms of, creating a space for you in my life, or the dynamic that's been established between the two of us at this particular point in time. It is a priority. It does take precedence. You're quickly becoming one of their favorite people. We also have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, so this person's feelings for you are growing daily. The more that you kind of share of yourself, maybe like you've shared music with them, your favorite songs, you've introduced them to new types of music, new genres of music, or a different sort of way of like appreciating music, or music being shared back and forth as a love language. It might be something they were not used to with other people, or the way in which the two of you do that, sharing playlists, sharing songs. It's taken on like a whole new meaning. This is helping this person to like expand beyond just kind of like words and ordinary or average gestures. And there's almost like, yeah, we can tap into that space of pure vibration deep within the music, and everything that can't be expressed according to feelings at this point in time, because maybe it's early on, or just the nature of those feelings and like song lyrics, and the way an artist has kind of put that together, that it transcends the need for words. All of that is something that they are vibing with. They are loving that. They are enjoying that. This is also something where it feels like this person is listening to love songs and thinking of you. So you may be picking up on kind of like random waves, or seemingly random waves of like loving energy coming from this person. And it's probably because they got headphones on. They're kind of like deep in that meditative state, listening to songs, things that you've sent them, or even things that kind of like remind them of you, romantic songs, and like you're the thought, you're the person that they are imagining. They're kind of like manifesting sort of a next chapter, a next experience, what comes next between the two of you, maybe even without knowing. That's part of manifestation. That's part of that law of attraction. Getting into vibrational alignment with the types of experiences you are hoping to have. And you are the one that is kind of, the person on the other side of the line. You are the person that they are visualizing as they are sinking into that deeply meditative space, where there is an abundance of feelings that are free flowing, where there is this understanding between the two of you that transcends words, where there is this place of like nothing standing between the two of you anymore. And that becomes increasingly like a fond place for this person to visit. It feels right. feels natural, the idea of kind of like opening up and just allowing this budding connection between the two of you to develop as it will. But this is also somebody that wants to be very proactive in terms of like making those feelings known in a way that they haven't done before. So adding in more of that romance, more of those little gestures, more of the little things that they know will make you smile, or even ways in which you've kind of like revealed parts of yourself through, again, like music, songs, kind of like genres of music, or different things that you've shared with this person. This is something that's like, yeah, I want to open up about aspects of myself as well. It's easier to show you than to tell you, or it's easier for you to kind of like hear this than it is for me to explain it. And that is something, the idea of that kind of developing that sort of quiet closeness with one another, that is something that like really turns this person on an emotional level. Like you just understand one another, you just get one another, and there's a feeling of sanctuary in the midst of that. We also have the Eight of Wands. So it feels like this person is like talking about you, but in a really good way. They are building up kind of the anticipation and the excitement in the lives of people around them who are close, who are meaningful. It's like, I've met someone. I think I've met the one, or I've met someone very special, or there's someone that I think I want you to meet. I've been kind of building this very quietly, very privately behind the scenes, but now it's time to kind of get other eyes upon it. So there are people in this person's life who are aware of you, at least aware of you as like, quote, someone. Like, I've met someone, I'm talking to someone, it's still early, I don't know, I don't want to like speak on it too much, but I think that I might be on to something that'll be really kind of like good for me emotionally. For others of you, this is something where this person has kind of like, again, sort of referenced you and the experience, directly. And it's like, yeah, here's this special person that I'm wanting you to meet. I think things are getting very serious between the two of us. I think that this is something that might turn into kind of like long-term stability, or that type of relationship and partnership that I have been seeking. So there's a lot of curious eyes upon you as well, energetically, or actually in terms of people in this person's world, people in their orbit. Not because it's like, oh, who's this person that they met, and let's look at this with kind of scrutiny or skepticism, but it's like excitement, like, oh, they've met someone. This might be the kind of person that doesn't just like bring people home often. They may have been single for a while, or this is someone that's usually very kind of like quiet, very private about their dating life. They don't open up about the people that they're getting to know unless it becomes serious. So it's piqued the interest of people around them. It's kind of like, ooh, excited, can't wait to meet this person. We also have the King of Cups. Yeah, so the ways in which you have shown gratitude, appreciation, understanding for efforts that this person has made romantically towards you, all of that is something that really like checks off all the right boxes. It pushes all the right buttons within this person emotionally. They feel that they are very capable of loving you the right way, and efforts that you've made towards them, to show little bits of appreciation, honor and acknowledge them, or even that you've taken note of certain like habits, routines, patterns within this person. Maybe you're somebody who can interpret their silences very well. You're not taking it personally, but you just understand, like, yeah, as much as this person has a side to them where we communicate and they're very open, the other side of that coin is something that may be more reserved. If they are dealing with certain things, and it's kind of like, yeah, this is not really the time for us to exchange on that kind of like gushy emotional level. But don't worry, like, as soon as I'm done tending to what I have to tend to, I'll be right back with you. We'll get right back on to kind of like what was going on between the two of us, where things were open, there were a lot of laughs, there was a lot of constant communication, like all of that. Like, you're recognizing the pattern within this person, not hot and cold, but just kind of different versions of them having to show up in the lives of other people as multiple kind of like versions of them. You get the full scope, the full picture of kind of like who they are in a nutshell, a multifaceted version of them, that whether this is something that you've just used your powers of observation, you've moved beyond kind of like the ego's instinct to sort of like take personally the times where they're a bit distant or a bit silent. At first you might have kind of misinterpreted their kind of reserved energy at different points in time, but this is something that they feel that you've kind of transcended that. You understand them without the need for words, and the times where there are these open exchanges between the two of you, it's like you're adaptable with them. You move with the tides as they move, in terms of different aspects of their emotions that can be displayed in times where they need to kind of button things up and stand in that very sort of reserved position. All of this is something that they feel like you're doing this very beautiful emotional dance with one another, where they don't worry at this particular point in time as far as like, okay, if my attention has to be focused on other things, and this doesn't mean focused on other people romantically speaking, this means focused on other priorities in their life, other things than love in this developing connection. This is something that it feels like you have been able to be very adaptable with that. You've understood that. Maybe this person has explained that to you based on things, a very specific kind of job that they have, or other things that they have going on in their life, or the lives of other people around them at this particular point in time that may have this person legitimately like busy, distracted, focusing on things, to where, there are times where your interactions with one another, it's like they're present, but there's not so much of that kind of like, okay, let me just get into this kind of like dreamy, whimsical, romantic sort of space. And then times where they've kind of like crossed certain hurdles, they've wrap certain things up, or they're kind of like they're one way during the work week, they're a different way on the weekends. You have come to an understanding of like, yeah, this is just part of who this person is. Everybody is a different person in different sort of circumstances. As authentic as someone may be, we are not always the same person universally. People are one way with acquaintances, they're another way at professional contexts. With close friends, there's another face that sort of is presented forth. Family is yet another version. Lovers and deep loving connections, that's still another facet of self. The private self, when we are alone, when it is just us and our own thoughts, that is yet another version. So this is somebody that feels like you understand that kind of that multifaceted nature of who they are. This is something that is just a part of them. It's what makes them human. It makes them no different from anyone else to have these different kind of, boundaries within which they let other people in, or they showcase aspects of themselves. And there's something that there's almost like room for you within the midst of all of that. Sometimes you are that still presence that is just observing that, holding space for this person to kind of return towards you with more openness. Other times this is something where, there is a place for you within that kind of open kind of flow, that communication. And so this is something that it feels like this person is really starting to understand, like, yeah, you're someone who can have a very meaningful place in my life where I can be one way with you and one way with other people, and all of that is okay. It all fits in together. You get it. You understand it. This is not something where, this person has to like worry about your feelings being hurt, worry about misunderstandings. There's just something that has been translated between the two of you that really reassures this person that prioritizing this connection, this relationship, developing it in the ways that they can moving forward, even just that idea of like music, kind of like little sweet gestures that are like, yeah, I may not have a whole lot of time to kind of like talk and interact right now, but I can certainly send you a song. I can certainly reply to your text. I can certainly kind of like take a minute to let you know that I'm thinking about you, or read something that you've sent that lets you know, hey, you're thinking about me. And in that moment we have that kind of spark of connection, even at a distance. And that just makes the times where, there's less kind of pressure, there's less obligation. I have to be, fewer things to all these different people. When it's just you and I, then there's the ability for us to kind of melt into this place where we are just flowing, where it is just open and that feels right. All of that is something that it feels like has tuned this person in to the reality that there is real long-term potential between the two of you in a way that kind of fits their life in the here and now, not just in terms of what they've been looking for in romance, in terms of fulfilling those emotional or even kind of like sexual needs, but something where it's like you fit in very well with kind of like the bigger sort of picture of their life as a whole. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.